Welcome to a new week here on the Retirement Quick Tips podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Micciche. Nearly 2 in 3 Americans, about 64%, worry about running out of money. In fact, they're so worried about running out of money that they fear it more than death. That is according to a 2025 annual retirement study from the Allianz Center for the Future of Retirement. Now, some of the key findings in this study are that 62% say they're not saving as much for retirement as they would like to. That's one of the main drivers behind the fear of running out of money in retirement. 54% say inflation contributes to their fear of running out of money. And what I find really interesting is that this fear is most prominent among Gen Xers. About 70% of Gen Xers who are now kind of in their later careers. Most Gen Xers are in their mid to late 40s and 50s, and they are fast approaching retirement. So it makes sense that they're like, holy cow, retirement's around the corner. I haven't been saving enough. Inflation's really bad. Everything's really expensive. How the heck am I going to afford to retire? And millennials are not far behind. About 2/3 of millennials are fearful of running out of money more so than they are of dying. Now, what's interesting is that boomers, the youngest whom just turned 60 last year, they are now mostly retired. And curiously, they had the lowest fear percentage of all the generations approaching retirement or in retirement. However, it's not like they're not afraid. About 61% of boomers are still more afraid of running out of money than they are of dying, but it's significantly less than Gen Xers and millennials. So it's important to explore that. Why is that? Is that because many of them have already been living in retirement and they see that it has its ups and downs, but it's possible and I can certainly live off of what I have without drawing my nest egg down to zero. I think that's part of it, is that they've actually gone through that retirement transition for the most part, and they realize, hey, that's not so bad. So this week on the podcast, I'll be talking about ways you can reduce this fear and the very real risk of running out of money, what you can do in your own situation. What can you do if you're years away from retirement? What can you do if retirement is looming close? And what can you do if you're already retired? Because the strategy varies, and what you can and should focus on is different based on your proximity to retirement or if you are already retired. If you are new to the podcast, a little bit about me. I'm a financial advisor and co-owner of True North Retirement Advisors, a fee-only fiduciary financial advisory practice managing over $450 million in client assets. For the last 17 years, I've helped my clients retire with confidence. And on this podcast, I turn the complex retirement questions into clear answers. And I do that in just a few minutes each and every day. So you can spend less time stressing about money and more time living and enjoying your retirement. Thank you so much for joining me this week. If you know someone who'd be interested in this week's topic, please share the show. And if you have a burning question about your own retirement, you can check out my website, truenorthra.com. There you can book a free 15-minute call with me about anything on your mind regarding your retirement. All right, coming back tomorrow, I'm going to talk about why it's so important to dig a little deeper, uncover the why. Why are you worried about running out of money in retirement? What is really driving that? If we can get to the root cause of that, we can begin to address that and hopefully make some progress on not just your fears, but your actual risk of running out of money in retirement. All right. My name is Ashley Micciche, and this is the Retirement Quick Tips podcast.